Hello everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Dayspring Discussions. Now, normally this is the show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, but today we're talking about one thing and one thing only, and that is Doctor Strange. That's right, Lisa and I just got out of the movie a mere, 45 minutes ago? Came back, got in our jammies, got some hot cocoa, and we were ready to sit down and talk all things Strange. Now, for those of you who don't know, we go spoilers, kids, okay? So if you don't want to be spoiled, put us on pause, come back, listen to us later after you've seen the movie, because I really don't want to influence your opinion in any way. I just want to tell you my thoughts, and then of course, you come back at us with discussion topics as well. That's how it works, guys. It's a social, interactive experience. So after you hear what we have to say, come back on social media and let us know what you say as well. Lisa, you about ready to get this going?
I'm ready.
All right, guys. So normally how I like to do this, pretty much, I just pulled up the IMDb page on Doctor Strange, and then we'll go through kind of character by character, letting we know what we thought. It's kind of my way of making sure I don't miss anybody or anything. But overall, we're just going to start off giving first impressions. Lisa, what did you think of Doctor Strange?
Oh, I liked it better than I thought I would.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't really all that excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
The trailers were kind of weird, and I didn't really know much about the story, but I knew that it was going to be kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, for a Marvel movie, I had fairly low expectations. Like, I wasn't expecting to like it very much.
Well, you were like at DC film expectations,
Something
or what?
like that. I wasn't expecting to like it very much. And I liked it quite a bit. I liked it a lot. I thought there was just enough of the little jibby jabby jokey to keep it like Marvel-y, but it was so much more. It was deeper, I think, than most of the other
They tried
ones.
to be deeper, I could tell, yeah.
Yeah, like I felt like I had to think a lot harder than I normally do in DC. I mean, in Marvel movies, so I liked that. I mean, I liked Benedict Cumberbatch. I thought he was amazing. So, I mean, I think that the cast was really good and that everyone worked together really well. I liked all the chemistry. I liked Tilda Swinton a lot better than I thought I would.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, I think overall, I liked it a lot. I think the plot was pretty good. Like, I felt like it was something I could follow. I felt like it had a pretty good start, like beginning, middle, end. I liked it.
Okay. Cool. So for me, I'm a comic book guy. I read the comic books, but Doctor Strange, a character I'm not really too knowledgeable with. I know his powers. I know his origin stories. To be honest, the times I've read Doctor Strange are in Avengers comics, not his solo title. The only actual Doctor Strange book that I've read is the recent reincarnation or version by Jason Aaron, and I read volume 1 of that. So really, that's the only Doctor Strange I know. Again, not a big Doctor Strange guy, so I'm not gonna, pretend to be. So I just know kind of the basics of it. So with this one, again, I'm not a big Doctor Strange guy, so I wasn't super looking forward to it like something like Civil War. Okay, and halfway through the movie, I was like, I don't know. But as the film progressed, I started to like it more and more. Now, did have that Marvel movie feel. The story I thought was, kind of paint by numbers a little bit. Again, they did try to go a little deeper with the meaning of time and all that stuff as well, which we'll get into. It did have the jokiness sometimes. I gotta say, that Wi-Fi joke still didn't get me. I still didn't get it. Even in the trailers, I didn't like it. And even in the film, I didn't like it as well. There was just those few little times where, you could tell they were really trying to put the jokes in there. Especially, and they had to have that comic relief. Somehow, this one, that character of comic relief was the Cloak of Levitation. You could tell it was purely there to give it a mind of its own. I just felt like I felt like comparing it to Aladdin's magic carpet, where it didn't say anything, but it was kind of fluttered and had a mind of its own and stuff like that. But overall, yeah, I like the film. Is it anywhere in my top 5 Marvel movies? No, it's not. But I think it's one. I mean, compared to some of the other lesser known ones, I don't know. Like I sound a little like Ant-Man. I don't know if I liked it better than
It's so
Ant-Man.
different than Ant-Man.
It is
hard to
very
compare.
different. I was telling you this on the way. People are saying it's so trippy, and some people have recommended 3D, And I'm like, I'd love to see this again in 3D, but at the same time, I don't think I like the movie enough to watch it again in theaters, though. That's kind of
I
the thing.
absolutely would not want to see it in 3D.
Exactly, of course. So overall, maybe like any weaknesses off the top of your head of the film?
Besides the medical things that they got wrong.
Yes. Being a Nurse Lisa here. She and it was funny. Like I told her, the whole time at the beginning there, you were getting to have Doctor Strange's origin about how he was a surgeon and all this stuff. And the whole time that beginning, I was like, all I know is that Lisa is just studying this so hard and trying to think of all the things they're doing wrong.
I wasn't studying anything. I don't look for it. I only notice overt things that are wrong. From a medical point of view.
All right, fair enough. But yes, the whole time I was like, yep, she's keeping track of all the medical jargon they're doing wrong, of course. So, but yeah, anything else that you thought was, kind of a weakness of the film?
I mean, nothing jumps out. I mean, I thought, like I said, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit.
For me, I think it was the typical Marvel stuff, really. I mean, the one thing Marvel has done is their heroes are great. And I think this was another example. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange did a great job. I really liked him. But how did you feel about the villain?
I thought they were better than their normal villains.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen played. I can't see the. Here's the problem with these. Kind of like the Lord of the Rings movie. It's going to be hard for me to pronounce some of the names. Caecilius. There you go. See, that's why you're around. But yeah, I thought he was a little better than normal. But
I mean, I thought his reasoning and rationale and what he was doing was much more plausible.
He wanted more immortality, kind of, is what it was, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I mean. Like the problem with most Marvel villains is you don't exactly understand their motivation, or their motivation is kind of silly in a lot of cases. And then I feel like when they're doing whatever it is they're doing, it doesn't always make sense. I thought what he was doing, like it was a very specific reason for what he was doing. He had a very specific reason for not trusting
the ancient one.
The ancient one, and it really turns out he was right.
Yeah, she was lying too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he was deceived on both sides. Because he was deceived by, what's the big, powerful thing?
Dormammu.
Dormammu.
The only reason I know how to pronounce that is because John Schnepp on Heroes has been talking about that forever. So
Dormammu,
yes.
Yeah, but so, like, I thought the fact that, I don't know. I thought that as a villain, he was better. It was better to understand his motivation, what he was doing, and I understood his plan. And it made sense. The steps of the plans made sense. There wasn't so many things like the whole Ultron issue, or not Ultron, in Civil War, where it's there were so many things that had to go exactly right.
Had to go exactly the way the villain had a strategic plan.
In this one, I think his plan...
It's called Special Forces Training.
Right. I think his plan made sense. And I thought as a villain, he was... I mean, he wasn't like a likable villain like Loki is, but I mean, I thought he made sense. I thought he wasn't bad. Okay.
So, and then of course the other weakness I thought of the film, much like it's a main Marvel weakness, love interests. Rachel McAdams,
I thought she was awesome.
I thought she was pretty good, but I felt she wasn't as... I mean, the strongest love interest I think we've gotten is Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, just because of her rapport with Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark. I'm not saying I hate her, I mean... Well, okay, I'll take that back. Everyone knows my favorite love interest is Agent Carter, so there's that.
That's the best one.
Okay, I guess give it that. But Pepper Potts had a great rapport. Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, she was great in the first one. The second Thor movie, that's, a separate issue as far as my issues with that. This one, again, she was strictly a love interest, and I didn't see really any depth to her, I guess. It's kind of my problem is. What I have problem with is they're just there to serve the hero. They themselves don't have a lot of purpose.
Isn't that what love interests generally are?
Kind of, but when you have a better fleshed out character, you can add depth to them.
Right, but why? If the purpose of the love interest is to support the love.
Because if you care about both people, on equal, level, it
But
gets you
then-
more invested.
I don't think so, because it's his movie. It's not her movie. It's
That's
his
true,
movie.
but-
she's supposed to be a supporting.
But if you get to know her better, okay, you get to know why he likes her. Again, you get to know your hero better because you understand why he cares about her, all that stuff.
I think that you are like asking for way too much for what a love interest
Okay.
is supposed
All right,
to be.
fair enough. I'm just saying, in Marvel movies, you don't get that depth as we should out of the love interest.
I don't think that there's any movie where the love interest gives you a lot of depth.
Oh, really?
Like, what movies are you thinking
Okay,
of?
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Because, I mean, I think if it's
but I will
really...
come back at you later.
Unless
with
it's a
some.
movie that's about them both. Like, where the purpose of the movie... Like
Titanic.
Right, or like When Harry Met Sally. Like, that movie is not about one of them. It's about both.
Now I gotta think about it.
Whenever there's a movie that's about one person and there's a love interest, the love interest is a supporting figure. You're not supposed to go too deeply into their history.
But you're supposed to care about her more because the hero cares about her.
Right, but I think that they do it
Or
just enough. Like, I don't think you should be so invested to where, like, if she died, you'd be all like, oh no.
No, that's
like,
exactly where you should be.
I don't
yes.
think that you should be.
You should
She's
be.
just a passing love interest.
Because you have to care about her as much as the hero cares about her to get invested in the story.
I don't think that's true.
I think we're going off a little off topic
I'm
here. I
just
think we're
saying, I
talking way into
disagree.
this much. I'm just saying, in typical Marvel movies, the faults have been the villains and the love interest. This film, while I think it did a little bit better job than most of the Marvel films, still fell a little short for me. Not to say I didn't enjoy them, but still I felt like it could have been better. But the heroes, like I said, they always knock it out of the park. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. Now we have Doctor Strange. Such a good job of focusing on that. And to me, that's what I love too. Is in this day and age, so many people are really focused on the villain. Like, say, the Batman franchise, okay? Where the Batman franchise in the 90s went wrong is they focused so much on the villains, They cared more about the Catwomans and the Riddlers and the Two-Faces more than they did about Batman. I think that's what that led astray. But the fact that Marvel is focusing on their heroes, that's making us care about their heroes. I think it's one of the reasons it's becoming so popular. Yes, it has their faults, but what film doesn't, I guess, in this instance. So, anyway, let's just go down the list. So, of course, we already talked a little about it. Benedict Cumberbatch led this film as Dr. Stephen Strange.
And as usual, he's awesome.
He was awesome. He was pretty good. It was an origin story. So, you had to see him form into, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme and all that. So it was fun to go on that journey with him. He played the, surgeon, high-profile surgeon, asshole,
Neurosurgeon.
very well. And, to see him transition into the more humble guy, going to the mid-credit scene, of course, where he's like, how can I, get you out of here as fast as I can?
Mm-hmm.
Protector of the realms, so to speak. But yeah, I like that. So he did a great job, really great. I'm anxious to see, I know he's going to be in Infinity War, and now, spoiler of course, from the mid-credit scene, we know he's going to be in the next Thor movie as well, too. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that for a minute. That was one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Because I didn't expect it at all.
Anytime they fit Thor into something, I'm usually pretty happy.
Yeah,
with
I didn't think they were gonna. I was curious. I knew there was a mid-credit scene and a end-credit scene. I'm like, what are they gonna do? I felt like one thing they were gonna do was set up another Doctor Strange, and then I thought they were gonna hint at Infinity War, and instead they set up Doctor Strange to that on the final one at the end credit, and then they previewed Thor Ragnarok.
Well, they set up the Infinity thing in the film.
Exactly, they did that as well, which I think everyone could have called that was an Infinity Stone from... Because in the comic books, it's not an Infinity Gem, but we knew there's still 2 more Infinity Gems we hadn't seen, so we had to get one in there, and one of them was the Time Stone, and of course, all their talk about time, I was like, yeah, this is a gem, no problem. And they just, they spoon-fed it to us, too. It's like, this is an Infinity Stone. And I'm like, here, if you're not clever enough to figure it out, or you're not invested like some people, here it is.
That's why they did it. Not everybody is invested.
Exactly. I know, which is why I'm not really complaining too much about it. Okay.
I wouldn't complain about that at all because I'm telling you, 75% of the people who saw that movie would not have.
Oh yeah. Okay. What? Okay. Let's think about this. Okay, as well. Okay. This is something that irked me. Is whenever I go to the movies, of course, I love going to the movies, seeing stuff on the big screen. It's the other people I can't stand. Okay. That guy to the right of me. Okay. Every time there was like a laugh or like some of that, he's like, LOL.
I know, I heard
I'm
him.
like, what are you fucking crazy? And then they get up and walk out, right when the credits roll in. I'm like, you're not really invested. Get the fuck out.
Well, you don't have to be invested to go see a movie, Sean.
I'm just saying, I think the LOL was what bugged me the most. And then there was, as we were walking out, there was the two guys.
I heard them talking about Firefly.
Firefly. And he's like, oh, the guy from Firefly. He always plays that,
that same character.
I'm like, really?
Well, number one, he was in Serenity.
It's Serenity, not Firefly. But I'm like, really? Okay? This guy won an Academy Award for, 12 Years a Slave. His name's Chiwetel Ejiofor. Go see another fucking movie, you dumbass.
Just calm down.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Like I said, this goes into not as many people are as invested in film and movies and comic books as I am. So,
That's like the understatement of the year.
All right, hold on. Let me take a sip of my chocolate. It's getting to that temperature now where it's almost drinkable. So we're slowly getting there. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on. We talked a little bit about Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer. So
I liked her. I thought that they gave a lot. I thought they gave plenty.
I think they did. At the beginning of this, I love that scene with her and Cumberbatch in his apartment where
where he treated her like a piece
exactly.
of dirt.
That was a great job. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that. The rest of it was just like kind of like with Gwyneth Paltrow at the end of Iron Man. She was just kind of reacting to all this action going around her, like, oh no, surprise!
She did it way better than Gwyneth Paltrow did. It was way better than Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay, I'll give you that. But of course, in my opinion, I think she's a better actress than Gwyneth Paltrow.
That is also,
despite that, Paltrow has won an Oscar and McAdams hasn't, but I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I think that Rachel McAdams
and that's the thing. Okay, so let's throw my cards on the table here. Okay, Lisa and I, we have our list of the top 5 celebrities we're allowed to sleep with, and I have a special place for Rachel McAdams that is not on my 5. Why? Because I don't think Rachel McAdams is the kind of girl or woman that I could just sleep with. Scarlett Johansson, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're done. Later. Rachel McAdams, I don't think I could,
You think she's too wholesome for that?
I don't think I can walk. She's got that whole girl next door thing that I like. So I couldn't just, one and done. So that's why she's not on my 5. So, but yeah, she's, I think she's a great actress. And her being a Marvel movie, I think is great. I would like to have seen her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe maybe as a more stronger character. But, time will tell. We'll see what they do with her. Hopefully she just has become, another wasted love interest that, we never see again, and, doesn't have, again, any more depth or, growth as a character. So, oh well. All right, so, Chiwetel Ejiofor as, Mordo. In this one, he was kind of the sidekick, I guess you could say. Maybe?
I don't know.
But at the end, of course, he walked away having learned the truth about the Ancient One. He felt like it was all a lie, so he walked away. And then in the final end credit scene, which if you didn't stay for that, you've seen a Marvel movie, people. Come on now. You know to stay till the end of the credits. He took the power from Benjamin Bratt's character and looks like he's on a mission to take out all these sorcerers.
See, that I didn't really get that because I don't understand how you can just take their power. Because your power
comes from the universe.
Right, but I mean, it's not like it's given to you. It comes from you.
You channel it, don't you?
Right. I mean, it seems like it's inside of you already. You just have to learn how to find it.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
how can someone take it?
It's kind of how the Ancient One was talking about in the beginning where, with Bratt's character, where he had to tell his body how to heal itself, I guess. So, how can someone take that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get it.
I don't know if it's like cutting you off from that power or something like that. I don't know. I guess obviously they'll probably explain it in the next Doctor Strange movie. Do you
So it
think
looks like we have our villain for the next
exactly?
movie.
Which I knew from the comics that they eventually became villains, so I figured that was going to happen anyway. One thing I did say though, I felt like they should have switched the mid credit and the end credit scene. Because I felt like, one related to the next Marvel movie, one related to the next Doctor Strange movie. And for people who are just, go to see a movie, as you say, if they would have put that tag for the next Doctor Strange movie first instead of the tag for the next Marvel
Yeah.
movie, I felt like it would have been
That probably would have
better.
made more sense.
Yeah, I think it would have served it better. But I enjoyed the other scene better.
I just liked seeing Benjamin Bratt in something. It's been so long
I know,
since
right?
he's been in
I
anything.
saw him and I'm like, oh my god, it's Benjamin
I know.
Bratt.
I used to have such a crush on him back in his Law and Order days.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, was it L.A. Law or
no,
Law and Order?
LA Law? What are you talking about? No, it was Law and Order.
I knew it was L.A. something.
And I had a gigantic crush on him then, back when he was dating Julia Roberts.
That's right. He did date Julia Roberts. That is true. So, yeah. So, Julia Ford, great actor. He had. It's different being in something like this. It's not 12 Years a Slave or something that is.
He always brings his A game though.
He brings his A game. He played the character well. His character, it was okay. Again, I didn't. Again, I couldn't really see the switch. I guess I want to see more of his journey. I want to see more of that journey from him walking away, feeling betrayed, to him, in credit scene.
We need his backstory.
Yeah.
They hint at his backstory.
Yeah, well,
when he's talking to the Ancient One.
Because they all hint about how
his
everyone who comes to her
demons
is like broken.
Well, and he talks about his demons, and I think we'll get that. And I think they were purposefully vague about that with this one.
Yeah.
Because
Possibly,
I think they didn't want you to realize how much he was teetering on the cusp of the good and the bad. And then now the next one, now that we know he's going to be the villain, the next one they'll be able to go into his backstory. And I think that was totally on purpose, Sean.
Okay. No problem. I'm just saying anyway, moving on.
I think how in the world do you expect them to go into this much detail about each of these characters unless we're going to get a movie that's 15 hours long? You're asking a very lot.
Hey,
they can't deeply develop
2
all
hours and 45 minutes would be more than enough time.
No, it would not. Not for what you're asking for.
The movie was less than 2 hours, I think, actually.
I think it was plenty long.
How long was the movie? Hold on, I'm going to look this up. The movie is... Hold on. 1 hour and 55 minutes. Given an extra 15 minutes, they could have dived a little more.
In another 15 minutes, they still could not have developed Rachel McAdams' character and Chiwetel Ejiofor's character. Do you want Wong's backstory too? How many more do we have to do?
Let's talk about Wong. He was one of those because he was a more of a side character. He wasn't a front and center character.
I liked him though.
He was good. He served. I felt like he served his purpose. Kind of like Idris Elba in Thor. He was the supporting character there to help him. He wasn't one of the main people. The main people in this film were Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, and Matt Mikkelsen and Tilda Swinton. That's your main five right there. And Benedict Wong, who played Wong, was there, as a supporting character, just kind of serve a purpose. And I'm asking for more of that main five. Then perhaps it's too much, but. In any event?
It is too much. It is too much. This was Benedict Cumberbatch. It was Doctor Strange's origin story.
I will give him.
I'm just saying that was his origin story. Everybody else's, you just get a tasting of their history. There's going to be more of these films. They're going to develop further the characters that they need to. You are ridiculous.
As always. Okay. All right. So going down the line, I think we talked a little bit about Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. He always plays a good villain.
He just looks creepy.
Yeah, he just looks creepy.
I feel like if he sat down and smiled at me, I'd be like, "What the hell is wrong?" You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. It would be. I don't think I've ever seen him smile in any movie. Really, is what it is. At least unless it wasn't an intentional creepy smile, is what it is. But yeah, he did good. I liked what they did with their eyes, where they were kind of, they were channeling that dark power of Dormammu. So they had their eyes were what it was, their skin was coming apart. It was purplish. I thought that was cool, just to kind of show that really this power they're channeling is really eating away at them, is what it is. Do you think we're going to see his character again?
No.
No?
No.
One and done villain
Yep,
again?
I think he's a one and done.
I think I agree so as well.
I think that Chiwetel Ejiofor's villain is going to be through the next two.
Yeah,
because I think he's going to be a better villain. I think he's going to be a stronger villain.
I agree with that.
With more powerful motives.
I agree with that, of course. It's one of those,
he'll be harder to defeat because Doctor Strange and him are like friends.
Well, and that's the thing too. Is I didn't get I got friendship from them, but I didn't get like close friendship. That's kind of like a Magneto Xavier kind of thing.
But no, I don't think it was quite that.
No, exactly. You saw them train together. You saw them kind of get to know each other, but I didn't feel like they were really close friends.
Well, I think that they just skimmed over a lot of that. I think he was there at that place a lot longer than he's.
Oh yeah, I mean he was training for a while, of course. Yeah. How long he was there, we don't know, but in any event. All right, so then moving on, let's go to the last cast member. Really, is what I want to talk about. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Now, there was a huge issue with this because in the comic books, the Ancient One is of Asian descent, and
is a man.
And so Marvel got a lot of slack for quote unquote whitewashing this character. But for me, yeah, I get it. I get it wanting to see, but
She was amazing.
It's one of those things where get the best person for the job. Okay, it's like, okay, I'm gonna use Wonder Woman as an example. Say, okay, that Warner Brothers and DC was so hell bent on getting a female director to direct the female superhero movie. That's great. Mm-hmm. Okay, but if the best person to direct the Wonder Woman movie is a man or African American or whatever, you don't get the person just because they're of a certain, race or gender. You get the best person for the job. And I think nobody can dispute that Tilda Swinton, being a great actress, did a great job.
She knocked it out of the park. I thought she was amazing.
Exactly. So,
and I don't generally like her very much. Yeah, I know she's good.
You think she's really weird.
But she's super weird.
She is really weird.
And sometimes her weirdness detracts.
I heard she wore some really weird dress to the premiere too.
She always wears weird dresses. Anytime she's out in public, her hair is always super weird. It's weird colors. She wears weird makeup. She wears weird clothes. Apparently she's 6 feet tall. Yeah. She's just weird. And sometimes her weirdness, for me, it takes me out of the movie. She's weird enough that it's too weird. Even, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's my problem with her is I can't get over her weirdness. But I thought it was perfect in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was really... Now, the whole time I was thinking, too, when I looked at her, I was like, did she really shave her head or no? Because she's the kind of actress, she would shave her head.
I think she did.
Because she had some kind of scar. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, is that for the character? Does maybe she really have that?
I don't know.
Good
question.
I was thinking about that too. So, but yeah, she did a fine job. I knew, of course, she was the mentor character of the, film. So I kind of figured she was going to pass on. But before she did, she passed on some wisdom to Strange. And that's kind of, in this film, given the fact that he possessed the Eye of Agamotto, which essentially controls time. They talked a lot about time in this one and had, I think, really some, profound stuff to say about it, which, like you said, going into, they want to go a little deeper and say a little more than just a basic, action film, I guess you could say. So, but I mean, yeah, I really like that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Of course,
Well, I don't even think it's just necessarily that. I mean, I thought that the overall story of Doctor Strange is something that is a little more relatable than some of the other. Because I mean, this movie, his journey ultimately is about finding purpose, finding your inner strength.
And okay, I got.
You know what I mean?
I felt like it was more like about him. What do I want to say? Stop being selfish, and even when we stop thinking about ourselves and, we're going to find our greater purpose or what we're meant to do, then, do we really succeed?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's, just about looking outside yourself and realizing that, just because you think you're at the end of what you thought you were supposed to do doesn't mean that there's not something bigger or better or more.
Yeah, there's always the next chapter, right?
Yeah, there's always something more, and that sometimes the greatest gift to yourself is doing things for others. Like seeing, like how when she talked about being a doctor, he didn't do it for other people; he did it for himself. and sure, as a byproduct, he stayed with other people, but now he really can realize that he really does want to help other people. I thought that was a much bigger meaning than most of the Marvel movies.
That's true. I mean, like I said, I pulled away a lot of the time stuff. I've come to that point in my life where I think about death all the time and how one day I'm going to die, and it freaks the hell out of me and all that jazz. So that kind of meaning about, the fact that we are all going to die makes life and our time that much more precious, and, all that stuff as well. So kind of the meaning I took away from all that. But yes, I mean, visually, of course, this film, I think nobody's going to say it was really different from. I mean, can't remember. People at first are comparing it to Inception. I think it was way beyond what Inception did.
Way beyond.
I mean, when you're sitting there through the credits and you looked at all the visual people, visual artists, and everything, and you think about the sets that are moving, and just the very beginning scene where Tilda Swinton is fighting. Mads Mikkelsen and his guys at the very beginning there, and all the little moving pieces on the building, on top of the fact that everything's going sideways and stuff like that. Each piece itself is moving within that too, and I'm like, God damn, that's got to be a lot of work. It was really cool, yeah. So visually, really cool. I mean, how did you feel about kind of the magic, the way they were using the magic to maybe whips and daggers and stuff like that?
I don't know. It was interesting.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that physical, really. I thought it was going to be more, like a Harry Potter style. Let's just, throw beams of light at each other or whatever, I didn't think there was going to be that much, actual physical combat.
Yeah, I thought it was neat, but I don't know. It was weird.
No, but I mean, it was different. It wasn't a bad weird. It was different.
It was different.
Yeah, and I think that's the word for this film is different. I think, very, especially considering the last couple films we've gotten as far as Civil War and Ant-Man, I felt like this film was definitely kind of more of a leap from the normal Marvel stuff we've come to expect.
It was a huge leap.
Okay, you could say it's a huge leap. We could say that, I guess. But again, we're taking a huge leap in the cinematic universe or in the Marvel universe because, we've talked about, we went to Asgard. We, went to, the edge of the galaxy with Guardians of the Galaxy. And now we're in the multiverse, and it's, like I said before, it's getting weirder and weirder. And at the very beginning there, I thought they were talking about the Devourer. I thought they were talking Galactus, but seems like they were talking about Dormammu. So, oh well. But yeah, it's only going to get stranger, no pun intended, from here because...
You did actually intend to pun there.
I did not. I mean, I thought about it, but I couldn't find another word. Weirder. Fine, I'll say weirder. But stranger sounds better.
Right, so pun was intended.
I wasn't trying to intend the pun.
Anyway,
it just happened that way, okay? But yeah, so like I said, we're going deeper into this universe. I mean, next up we have Ragnarok coming in. And then we got, what's after Ragnarok? I think next year we're getting Thor Ragnarok and I believe Spider-Man. And then the year after that, we're getting Infinity War and I believe Black Panther, if I remember correctly. So, and Infinity War, like I said. So, we now have 5 Infinity Stones. There's 1 left, okay? Do you think we're going to see it in Ragnarok, perhaps? Or Spider-Man? Or even Black Panther?
Don't you think they need to find it before Infinity War?
Well, I can see them finding the last stone at the beginning of Infinity War. You know, where, Thanos could be like, oh, the last one has been found. Now I can go collect them all. Kind of. But then I think you need him to, I guess, maybe find out and let him know where they're all at. Because we know where they're all at. So, of course, in this one we have the Time Gem, which is in the Sanctorum, I think it's called.
Sanctum.
Yes, Sanctum, in the Eye of Agamotto. One of them, the Soul Gem, is in Vision, in his forehead there. You have, what is the cube? I forget what gem the cube was, but that's going to be in Odin's treasure chest. Vault, excuse me. One of them, the Collector has, as well. And then the other one is with the Nova Corps, as well. So, I can totally see why they said everyone's going to be in Infinity War, because if Thanos is going around collecting, he's got to go meet up with the Guardians to take that one. He's got to go go to Doctor Strange to get the other one. He's got to go all around the Marvel Universe to try to collect all these gems. So, and there's one more left. We don't know where it is. I mean, I could see it popping up in Ragnarok. I don't think you're going to get in Spider-Man. I don't think you're going to get in Black Panther. Those are more local, earthbound, no mystical, thing about them. If anything, it can be Thor Ragnarok, but I honestly say I think they're going to wait till the Infinity War film to give us that last one. So, anyway. But, yes, so I think that's about it, really. I think we kind of touched on almost everything. We touched on the action, the acting, stuff like that. So, as far as this film, Doctor Strange, spitballing, I said it would not be in my top 5 Marvel movies. Spitballing, first instinct, out of, say, 13 movies, which I think 13 or 14 movies, where would you put it at in the Marvel films?
I don't know. I can't just spitball
that.
Just
spitball it. I mean,
I can't just spitball that. It's too hard.
Honestly, I'd probably put it somewhere in, 9, maybe 8 or so. Maybe 9, I think.
Maybe halfway down.
Because there's not a lot of Marvel films that I don't like. I mean, I didn't like Iron Man 3. I'm not a fan of Thor, Dark World. The Incredible Hulk really wouldn't do it for me. Again, I can think it's that thing where I have to think about, did I like it better than Ant-Man? I don't think I did, just because Paul Rudd was great in Ant-Man. Yeah, so that really adds to it. I think I'd put around 9, maybe 10, somewhere in that area there. But still a good movie. Definitely a quality movie. So, would you recommend this movie to the average moviegoer who really, maybe they've seen the Marvel movies but aren't invested in them? Do you think because it's so far out there because that was my worry about this film too, is that it's so far out there as far as with the magics and the mystics that the average moviegoer might not quite get it.
Yeah, I think I would recommend this to people who like sci-fi.
Okay.
Not superhero movies. People who like sci-fi.
People who like, like your sister.
People who like movies like I like.
Yeah, like, your sister Mimi. Not about this
She
movie.
would not like it.
No, I would not recommend, she doesn't really like the Marvel, Star Trek, Star Wars movies, really, so...
She likes some of those.
Some of them, but not a lot of them.
It doesn't have to do with the royal family or...
Which, by the way, that Crown series on Netflix came out today, too. I want to check that out. Great film. Recommending it, yes, but not to everyone. Like, for instance, with Josh, I think I can see him enjoying it. I can't really see his girlfriend Amber enjoying it, because, there's a couple Marvel movies that she doesn't flat out enjoy anyway. So I don't think this one would be up her alley. But like I say, if you guys are into the Marvel movies, want to get deeper into it, highly recommend it. Otherwise, if you're not kind of into it, I would say stay away. But I think that's about it, really. Anything else you want to add about it? Nope. Okay, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us for this special edition of Dayspring Discussions. So the most important thing is not what we think, it's what you think. So hit us up on social media or on email. So Facebook group, Twitter, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Let us know any theories that you might have about what's going to go on moving forward as far as the characters in Strange, and maybe where you think that 6th Infinity Stone is going to pop up, guys. So, until then, I am Sean, this is Lisa, and I say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.